You are listening to Discovering Discovery, and in this episode, right beforehand, Megan realized that she should have been plugging her Twitter account
The entire time.
the entire time.
You can read about me ranting about Los Angeles traffic, bad service in restaurants.
But if you want to be entertained, keep on listening to this episode.
I mean, my Twitter's up there, but this episode might be a little bit more entertaining. This is episode 11, The Wolf Inside.
Yes, and spoiler warnings are, of course, in effect. If you do not want to be spoiled for this episode because you have not seen it, we suggest you stop listening.
Wait, did I give
now.
my Twitter handle, though?
No, you did not.
It's _Kapla, which is a Klingon word for success. Because I might be a little bit into Star Trek.
And I am John Quick, and I am joined by Miss Kapla herself.
Megan Washington.
And this is Greg Payton.
And let's just dive into this. This was yet another major disappointing episode. The Mirror Universe is not...
Look, it's been 3 days. Wait, is that this episode? Or was
yes,
that last?
this is the 3 days episode.
It's been 3 days, John Quick. We've lost all hope. We're giving up. We're drinking the Kool-Aid.
They really suck as Starfleet officers.
But they try. They give it their best.
They obviously revised training at the academy after this.
They give it their best. They really do. They try.
Well, I guess we know why they changed the uniforms.
It's unflattering.
All
the
right.
lore looks better than what they got going on.
Punch it. Hit the warp button.
Warp 9 it is. So, welcome back to Discovering Discovery, and we just got finished watching episode 11, and...
Wow, how has that week been for everyone else? Was it a long week for you as it was for me?
It's been a very long week.
Oh, it's
tired.
a long week. Yeah, how are you guys feeling?
Yeah, just a little pissed. I don't know. There's so much goddamn wrong with this. I mean, they left where we left off last episode, and now going into this one. I mean, there was the opportunity to kind of correct ship. Instead, we got a fart of a reveal. We got a lot of really nonsensical. I don't even fucking know doings or dealings. I don't know what the shit that was. What?
I'm just really.
Wait, let's pause for a second. I have to make a clear.
Hang on. Can I get mine first? Can I get mine first? I'm just really happy that it's not me this time.
I gotta say, I've never seen.
Like, don't get me wrong, I feel the same way. I'm just happy that like somebody else is finally on my level.
You have to understand. Quick is so even keel.
I just want to give you like a big hug right now because I'm so excited about this.
John Quick is teetering on the edge of needing a hug or flipping this whole fucking table, which mind you is very heavy.
There's a lot of equipment on the table.
Yeah, there
Maybe
is.
not flip the table.
It's all very expensive.
But yeah, so I'm just happy we're on the same page now.
Are you? Because I'm not.
I mean, like, grand scheme of things, no, I'm not happy about any of this.
Okay.
I have such eternal optimism. It's
you're finding literally the only existing glimmers of light in this and just running with it.
Okay, let's talk about this episode. So we get an explanation as to why they didn't.
We don't get that.
We get an explanation. It's not a good one, but there is an explanation.
Yes.
As to why they don't just grab the information and
Space
run.
firewall.
Space firewall. We can't just shoot data back because then people will intercept it and they'll know.
We can't just grab a disk and then jump in apparently one of our warp drive shuttles and say deuces.
No, because people would know.
Yeah.
We wouldn't be able to decipher it in time.
The nature of the mirror universe is that they're a paranoid, scared lot.
My favorite. I haven't been on this ship in over a year, but don't worry, my wardrobe is still here.
And it is fierce.
I was actually going to slip right past that part because I didn't notice.
You notice these things. I mean that in like the, people, not like you specifically, because you apparently didn't notice. I noticed.
So apparently
Unless they just kept
people
their
don't
sizes in the
notice.
replicator.
Well, probably it is a replicator.
Yeah, replicators like kind of they can pretty much do anything at this point. They can replicate a cat.
So
Right.
fine.
So that's how we start the episode off, and then it's revealed that they found the location of the Rebel Federation, for
Right.
lack of a better word. We got the Rebel Alliance, yet another Star Wars reference in this Star Trek movie.
Right. So they get kind
show.
of told to go and blow up the planet, obviously, and she's just like, "No, I'm going to beam down to the planet first and just like screw around." And everybody's like, "Yeah, no, that makes perfect sense because you're the captain, so go ahead and do that."
Yeah,
So
your plan is long-term and thorough and dastardly, so therefore you must be right.
yeah. So she takes her boyfriend, Captain Worthless, and they beam down to the planet together, despite the fact that he's obviously still completely losing his shit.
Also known as Tyler.
Also known as Tyler.
Also known as Vok.
Also known as Vok.
Which we'll get to that fart of a reveal.
And
We'll get to
bravo
that.
for dropping a dime. The moment we saw Tyler in the prison, like, hey, well,
You know, I
you don't
think-
look too
I think
tortured. You're
we're-
Vok, aren't you?
I think we're glazing over the big reveal in this episode, and that is the fact that there was not space rape, which I'm really happy about.
Well, I mean, it's not a topic to joke about or make fun of, even in sci-fi. So I'm glad.
No,
that
it's not. I mean,
they revealed that it was all willing and it was actually just a surgery. Very
Basically,
grotesque
this is-
surgery.
basically somebody watched The Trouble with Tribbles, and there is a Klingon like ambassador, I think, who's had a little bit of corrective surgery to appear human, and the only way they discover that he's not human is because the Tribbles freak out when they see him.
Which kind of makes me wonder why Lorca's Tribble never freaked out around him.
Continuity.
Well, yeah, but
Was Tyler ever in the room with the Tribble?
Was he? Do we have to go back and watch and see if Tyler was in the same
Tyler
room as the
ever in
Tribble?
the room with the Tribble?
you know what? I guess we would have to go back and see.
Fuck! Oh,
Because now
quick!
I want to know.
Oh shit! Okay.
Now I'm
Because
curious.
that would be a big thing. But also,
Because that would mean that they planned this, not that they didn't just pull it out of their asses.
I mean, it's I can.
I'm curious now.
Can I also
Maybe
mention
just
that we
put a
still
pin in
have
that.
that we still have a Tribble next to a bowl of edible things?
We're just not touching on that.
I guess, yeah. But apparently Lorca gives 0 fucks.
Lorca lives life on the edge.
Lorca,
Speaking of
aka
Lorca,
YOLO.
he's
Yeah.
been getting tortured for the past like 3 days.
The fact that he still has a grip on reality is a
Space badass.
space
Captain
badass.
Lorca.
Seriously, like Lorca, fuck man, it's like clearly you're not suffering from a severe paralysis
We
and
get
nerve
this
damage.
really
yet?
awkward moment where Saru, the only non-human on board the entire ship, is actually a servant with no name
In this mirror universe, which is
in the mirror universe.
beautifully twisted.
And he
that.
just shows up to like give the captain a bath all the time, like every day. And it's really, really weird and super awkward.
Think Eddie Murphy ain't Coming to America, except not nearly as funny, not nearly as fun, and really, really sad.
But the royal penis is now clean.
No, I'm definitively no. It just
I'm
for
not
some
about to
I was
assign-
making a coming to America joke.
for some reason it reminded me of that scene.
I caught
it was
it.
just it was very sad to see that their relationship in this world was just so twisted.
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot wrong with this episode. Then they went down to the planet. They run into like the Rebel Alliance crew, you know.
Yeah.
They're having a chit chat. Sarek is there because he's apparently the only Vulcan in the world. So he shows
But
up.
he has evil universe goatee. You got to give him.
Right.
yes.
He did
Ding,
have,
ding, ding.
He did have character
Yes, he
development
does.
beard. So he rolls up because he's, quote, a psychic, meaning he can do the Vulcan mind meld, which, newsflash, pretty much all Vulcans can do that. There's another Vulcan at the table. Sarek didn't need to roll in and pretend to be a psychic. So he reads her mind, goes, oh no, she's totally pure of heart and fine. And everybody's like, okay, cool.
Well, okay, yeah. So going back to this was the part in the episode that really pissed me off. So this was the part that actually had me in a rage. I was like, this makes no sense. What the fuck is going on? So I'll accept their, space firewall excuse or whatever the fuck they're going to call it for why they haven't gotten the information back to Discovery. That I can say, well, okay, that's weak, but I can roll with that. That's not well explained, but whatever. Like I can roll with that one. They beam down there specifically to talk with them to get some much needed information.
Right.
To get some to get some much needed. I don't know what else. So basically, so they don't have to wipe out the entire rebellion.
Yep.
That's why they show up.
Yep.
But here's what this was their get out of jail free card. All they got to do is, hey guys, what's up? We're from an alternate universe. No, seriously, we're from an alternate universe. And since apparently they have, mind reading Sarek, who clearly saw the alternate universe inside her mind and then chose to say fuck all nothing.
No, he's like, I'm gonna be super cryptic.
All they had to do was do that and just say, "Hey guys, mirror universe." No, lol, not joking. Let's team up. Here's how it's gonna go. We'll help you go, fuck over the Terran Empire because honestly, fuck those guys. And then you help us get this, back to our ship, and maybe we can also then fuck off back to our home, and everything's gonna be okay.
I mean, that would have made sense.
That would have made so much sense, but instead she's like, no, I'm going to double down on this, and I'm going to play like this is what I'm actually here to do. And then at the end of all of it, like, the rebels giving them, it's just like...
So then she goes on this tangent. It's like, but wait, why are you guys working together? It's like, no shit, why are they working together? Like, there's not some sort of, like, magnificent reason why all these people join forces.
It's like common enemy? No shit. Like who?
There you go.
Who would have thought? But also in this world, if Vok no longer knows the Klingon language, if the Klingons are that subjugated that they don't speak Klingon anymore, then how the fuck does he call himself Vok, son of none? Like, wouldn't he say who his father is?
They obviously don't give a fuck about any kind of continuity.
I mean, yeah, no, they really don't. They don't understand the rules of the world that they're all a part of. But, like, literally, that one thing, all they had to do, like, it was seriously dumb of them to not go, hey, yo, mirror universe.
Right.
Let's get this rolling. Like, there was no reason other than forced drama. Like, maybe they were planning on doing that, and maybe they got brought. It could have been different if maybe they were planning on doing that, and they got brought in front of Sarek, and Sarek did the mind meld thing, and then he took them aside and said, "Okay, you guys still need to play this up." And they'd be like, "What?"
Right.
That only gets dangerous from here if you don't follow through.
Yeah.
Which would have made sense had this actually had some kind of writing with it.
Well, I think the one feeling I got from this was they were really, really focusing. It seems like the attention was paid more towards the theme of being in this fucked up reality and less so towards some of the logic. Because once again, all of the moments where Burnham is confronted by alternate versions of the people in her life, at every turn they were just very weird or sad or disturbing or shocking. Which was especially with who is the Emperor? Who is the Emperor of the Mirror Universe, of the Mirror Fleet? Who is the Emperor? Michelle Yeoh. So I mean, it just that being the reveal is what is the trippiest way to freak Burnham the fuck out just by bringing back her slain mentor. And I think they were focusing a lot of their energy and their muscle on that, but unfortunately I feel like a lot of the how do you raise the stakes of this deep cover alternate universe mission
cheap.
got
Everything they do
got
to raise the stakes on the show is cheap.
smothered. It got watered down, and it was hard to really root for the fact that, oh shit, that's right, everyone has doubles here, including Michelle Yeoh. So it was to get to that moment, I was like, oh shit, okay, well then,
yeah, and then
happened.
And then Tyler Vok finally snaps, kind of realizes who he is, and decides he's going to kill fake Vok.
Correct.
He
Or
goes fucking
Mary-
ham. He goes
What?
fucking ham, just like in the middle of the discussion.
And then Sarek is just like, no, wait, like, because it seemed like Mirror Universe Vok was about ready to kill Tyler and don't know if he was gonna then kill
I mean,
Burnham.
it didn't look like it. Nobody was going after Burnham at that point.
Yeah, but just and then Sarek manages to step in. It's like, I said she meant no harms, and I was right. It's like, oh, but I obviously didn't mention anything about him. That's like, oh, okay, spare Burnham, murder his ass.
Right, which
Yeah.
they didn't do. So
Yeah.
you're just like,
Essentially,
okay.
yes. Oh man. I mean, I do appreciate the the convenient sleight of hand by saying, all right, well, fuck it, we have the Defiant plans here. Let me just slip it in his fucking mind whammied, brainwashed,
so
body
they
swapped
get-
ass.
They get back to the ship, and she's kind of not as concerned as she should be about the fact that he just flipped out and started speaking Klingon. Tyler attacks her.
Yeah, it becomes a conversation. Why are you speaking Klingon?
No,
Why
she
Actually,
are
no,
never,
she
she
didn't.
never asked him why he was speaking Klingon. She just said, "You've been having erratic behavior for days."
Yes.
Like,
Yeah, what's going on? What's
Why,
going on?
why did you start screaming in Klingon?
Yeah,
Seriously.
Yeah.
like that would be my first question. Like,
yeah.
when did you learn Klingon again? Like, what's
And suddenly he
And
just
referencing the ship that they were on, the death ship, the corpse ship, the Klingon corpse ship.
and then he just goes full on Vok. But then at this point it doesn't really matter because like he's like this is not the good time for that reveal because he doesn't have any sort of like ability to really affect anything.
No.
Well, that was
Or-
let's see what was frustrating you and all of us about this is the fact that they kind of broke one of the cardinal sins of when it comes to those amazing reveals is that once we the audience know, oh shit, he's Vok, it doesn't matter who else that character tells in the story because we already know. So now you're just wasting our time by trying to drag out the reveal. It's one thing if you're trying to make the cat and mouse game a real game and trying to say, oh, will he be found out? Well, what's gonna happen? Like and the game of Keep Away. That's what made shows like I don't know. Like Alias, when she was like a double agent. That's what made that so interesting because you knew from the offset that she was a double agent. So like, will she be found out? With Vok and Tyler, it was okay. We know he's Vok, John Quick before anybody else.
Yeah.
He's an honor to his name. John Quick, first of his name, or second to his name, or third.
like
Si-
20th
sixth.
to his name?
Sixth of his name,
Yeah.
but still Quick. But at the same time, once the audience knows, once he killed the doctor, it's like, all right, well the jig is up. There's no real surprise anymore. It's one
Right.
thing. It's one thing if the doctor starts saying, hey, there's something weird going on here. Cut to
Well,
we don't come back to it, and
more
then we
so
have
if
this
the doctor
reveal
would
later.
have noticed it, and he wasn't the one that had gone to the doctor and be like, "Notice something weird about me."
Yeah,
But if
it's
the
just,
doctor was like, "I feel like something weird's going on,"
yeah, just pull it out a little bit. Pull it out a little bit. The fact,
Yeah.
I think the reveal would have been amazing if the doctor
Or if
discovers it.
this-
Oh shit!
or
Burnham
hang
finds
on,
out he's freaked out. Oh shit!
it would have been more interesting if the doctor would have noticed something when he first came back to the ship and they did all of the tests on him,
But then
and the
they-
doctor would have
yeah.
been keeping an eye on him the whole time.
Yeah, and,
You
and
know,
just
there's-
string us along by different distractions. Like, oh, we have to worry about the spore drive. Oh, we got to worry about the Klingons.
Yeah.
Oh, the Admiral. So at every point, the doctor keeps trying to get closer and closer. But it's like, I can't do it because there's other emergencies happening. But I'm getting closer and closer. I'm not quite sure what's going on with this test. I'm not quite sure if you want to make this guy your head of security. But at every point, it's just like, oh, we have more important things going on. And yeah.
And then apparently Stamets met his Mirror Universe counterpart. Well, there was a whole thing. Well, Tilly officially has character development here.
Right?
I think it's official that is character development here.
It's officially
Which
character
doesn't
development here.
enrage me. Does it enrage Quick? Because every time we see character development here, Quick is enraged by it.
No, I did not.
I was,
like, no,
I was
did-
happy with it.
It kind of made sense why they kept her with the straight hair, but they should have kept her blonde then. No, she was going back to being a redhead.
Was
It's
it?
like, yes.
Yeah, it was
Oh.
like a 50-50 situation.
Was it? Oh, okay.
In
okay.
3
I-
days.
okay.
Let me tell you this. Like, blonde hair dye does not go out that fast, especially when you got, like, red hair.
My
I'll take
guess,
your word for
my
it.
guess is it could be like replicated. Just to kind of just go zing. Like, remember in The Craft when she changed her hair color like really super fast?
Look, that was magic.
Listen, magic is just science we don't understand yet.
That was literal magic in the craft,
In
though.
the craft, I think it was just magic. Here's the other thing that really bothered me. Saru saves Burnham from being murdered by Tyler.
Mirror Universe Saru.
Mirror Universe Saru. There's just conveniently security guys that pop into her room immediately after this happened. So they're just like, cool.
On Discovery, there's actually
Unlike
security
on-
all over the
unlike on
fucking
Discovery,
place in
there's
the Mirror
actually security.
Universe.
Well,
So they come in, they snag Tyler, and they're just like, it's cool. We'll like beam him out into space because that's how we kill people here. So you're like, okay, fine. So they take him. She's like, don't worry, I'll beam him out myself. This is all like immediately happening, by the way. So she beams him out. Oh, look. Actual Discovery has been following us this whole time, and they're here to conveniently beam him aboard. But don't worry, because nobody on the Shinjo is going to notice.
Huzzah.
and it's not that any of that was set up. Why the fuck is the Discovery now there?
Right. How does Discovery know? How are they like, oh my god, Tyler's floating in space, we better beam him aboard? But don't worry, we know why he's been put out into space, so we're going to keep him in handcuffs and throw him in the brig. Like, at no point is there any sort of transfer of information. So
I guess they were just following his life signs. Like, oh shit, he's moving, let's get him.
So unless Berta made a phone call really quick before she went to like the transporter room, there's no way any of that.
Again,
There's just so much terrible writing.
Heavy on theme.
Heavy on the terrible writing.
Heavy on theme and trying to bring back Burnham's worst nightmares.
Yeah, I mean,
Well, also, Berta was talking about, I've been here 3 days, and I'm already starting to think like you've been on the thing for 3 fucking days. Jesus Christ. And you're already like,
she's already got
I'm
native.
questioning my humanity. 3 days, bitch. 3 fucking days. You're already jumping ship like 3 months, and I'd be like, yeah, no, I understand it. 3 days.
What I would love
you
to
were wanting this shit to happen.
what I
far
would
as I
love
can
to know
fucking
though is Lorca. How's he feeling after 3 days of,
I mean, it's only been 3 days.
of agony?
I mean, apparently they've been torturing Jason Isaacs as well because he was talking with his accent, his natural accent for a good portion of this.
They tortured him so hard he was fucking dropping the
Yeah.
the faux Southern accent.
The fake American accent.
Yeah.
I mean, God, this episode. Oh, and then we got Mirror Universe. What's his name at the end?
We had Mirror Universe Stamets.
Yep.
Mirror Universe Stamets rolls up at the end.
Yeah.
Which kind of makes you wonder.
After
like,
Tilly
okay,
tries to save him using the spores, and then
Which
Saru
was, like-
stops her.
which is really good idea, but then they cut away and then we cut back and he's like still just kind of continuously getting shocked. It's like, how long have we been sitting here just like watching him like go
Yeah.
beat,
Right.
beat,
Yeah.
beat? It's
So
like
that happens. Then he dies, and so Saru brings in the medical guys to like shock him. They fail, so he's dead. So everybody leaves the room.
and
So
apparently
Tilly's
just
left
le-
with
and-
just
and-
like random dead body.
yeah, just leaves him up there. They're like not gonna take him to the morgue. It's like, well, he's dead. Now what we gonna do now? I think we just leave him here. Let's just leave him here. You won't want to take him to the morgue. I don't know why these guys are suddenly like artificially
Just
Yeah.
like really terrible Cockney
Fucking Monty
accents.
Python.
Look, so they just leave his dead body propped up in there and peace out for lunch, and they're like, it's cool, pick him up after. It's not like he's going anywhere.
Go say your last respects.
I mean,
Tilly.
admittedly, they're not wrong.
They're not wrong, in theory.
And then all of a sudden he starts like jerking and whipping. you
Yeah,
know.
and then Tilly's just hanging out there with the dead body and suddenly kind of snaps back too, but in his
Yeah.
mind, he's off in some sort of like jellyfish forest running
He's
into a mirror universe
he's
of himself.
in the Sporeverse talking to Dark Mirror Standards.
Which then makes me wonder. It's like, okay, then does that mean that then the Mirror Universe Discovery does have the Spore Drive? Which, yet again, considering what the last time in the Mirror Universe somebody got a hold of like significantly advanced technology, they proceeded to go, hey, guess who's the new emperor?
Right.
Why the hell didn't, Captain Killy, obviously a kind of power mad despot, not
AKA everybody in the mirror universe.
yeah. Why didn't she proceed to turn around and go, "Hey, I got ship teleporting technology. I'm gonna proceed to jump around everywhere and kazap y'all."
Because that would make too much sense.
I don't know.
She's just that afraid of Michelle Yeoh and her new badass wardrobe. Like, I don't know.
Oh, and yes, and let's not forget the fact that Captain Burnham of the Dark Mirror Shinjo did not follow the orders of the supreme leader, the Emperor, and the Emperor shows up like, what the fuck? And sure enough, it
is Michelle Yeoh.
Yeah, it's her old captain in the actual universe who was impaled by a Klingon.
And instead she blows the fuck out of the rebel base.
Correct.
Yet again.
Bye, small fry.
Yeah. None of this needed to happen. Or if they wanted some of this shit to happen, they could have set it up better. This is all so contrived. It is like the story is running on the plot engine. It's just like, God damn it, we have to go.
Nothing that ever happens in a show actually has any kind of weight. Like, nothing matters. Except
when it refers to, I feel like I really feel like the Stanitz, what he's going through, I can hold on to.
Well, you get like 2 seconds of him like cradling his dead boyfriend, and then
you
realize that everybody thinks that he's the one that killed him because apparently the Discovery has no
surveillance.
Yeah.
Which I don't quite understand that. But
there's a lot going
on. I do appreciate what they've tried to do with Anthony Rapp and using him as much as possible. I just think he's just underutilized in terms of
he's definitely one of the few interesting characters.
And Tilly, I think Tilly with the character development hair, I think got to stretch a little bit the previous episode, not so much this episode, but she got a little more like heavier of a character. In the
character development hair made more sense in my mind. Like, she had to keep that as opposed to anything else. I guess that's why I wasn't as hung up on it. It also could have been I had much bigger things to bitch about than Tilly's character development hair.
I do love it. I do love it threatening Burnham way more than a remorseful Burnham. I much prefer she take no prisoners Burnham.
They yo-yo so much with her character though. Like, she's so willing to kill some people, and then she's just completely unwilling to kill other people, and it's
conflicted.
She executed those random prisoners again 3 days in, 3 fucking days in. She's just like, yeah, I'll do some executions.
No big deal. Yeah, I mean, there's no consistency with the character at all.
It's like, I'll execute these prisoners, but I will not murder these rebels. Even like Captain Lorca was just like, yeah, fucking bomb the rebels. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, he's like,
I've been tortured. Do whatever the fuck
look,
you
we're
gotta
trying
do.
to maintain a cover here. Like, what are you doing?
And she's like, I think you've lost your objectivity.
And she's like, no,
I've been tortured.
She's like, no, but think about it this way. You have Andorians and Klingons all getting along. And he's like, it's literally not why we're here.
he's like, I don't give a shit. I'm tortured. I don't care.
We're in a parallel universe. We're trying to get home.
We want to
Who
get
gives
back.
a fuck why they get along?
Do not care.
And she's just like, we can negotiate with Klingons. Yeah, these Klingons, you can't negotiate with these humans, but on the Mirror universe, you can totally negotiate with humans.
Yeah.
Do you see the flaw in your logic?
She apparently doesn't, and that's, I got nothing.
I got nothing too. I don't know what the fuck. I don't know what the fuck.
I don't know what to say about this episode.
Once again, all hail Emperor Michelle Yeoh. That's the one thing I was happy to see.
She did have a really cool cape.
I was thrilled as fuck to see her come back.
Which I guess, like, kind of once again, they're keeping continuity with Enterprise, which is strange in a way, in that you now have the next Empress is of Asian descent, which would make sense since the last Empress that we saw was Empress Hoshi Sato.
I mean, different ethnicities, but sure.
I said of Asian descent. It'd be.
It's close. It's Hollywood. # close enough.
Quick was trying to be broad with it.
I said of Asian descent. It's kind of like me saying of Western European descent. And the last guy was German, and now suddenly we got a French dude.
Yeah, that's about it. That's pretty much what we're dealing with here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't.
You know, like Megan's at a loss. Like usually you
I
got
am
some more fire in you.
I'm at a loss with what's going on because like none of it makes sense. It's not just that it's just bad writing continuously and like bad execution and nothing makes sense.
Well,
there's no logic behind anything that's happening.
Well, I think really weirdly, like they get the thematic approach and they like write on a thematic approach, which is nice. You want to do that, but they forget character and logic also have to be a part of it. So if you write solely on a thematic approach, you're a pretentious dick or you're David Lynch. But David Lynch manages to make it sense. Make it
but
work.
it's
Well, he
not
also
like
has
we're
the
even,
benefit of a feature and you know,
it's just
time
it's
to
all
sit
over
with
the
these
place.
things.
It's not like we're actually getting like, you know, a legitimate story arc or anything. Like there's so much stuff that they're just throwing shit at a wall. We're just getting like a myriad of things. There's no actual like through lines with any of the stories. Like we don't even hear about the war with the Klingons anymore. Like we haven't heard about, you know, Michelle Yeoh's character dying since she died. You know, it's not something that gets revisited. I don't know. It's just kind of messy. It's very messy.
Yeah. I mean,
Well, just out of curiosity, you guys forge ahead just a little bit. I'm gonna take a look and see around the interwebs what the reviews for this episode is. How about that?
All right, let's see.
Don't everyone start at once.
we were supposed to talk during this. What were we supposed to say? I'm sorry.
I just talk amongst yourselves about something. I don't know. I can theoretically cut this out.
I mean, it's
hoping.
fine. I was just
Yeah,
hoping
I think doing a straight cut like so
Look.
quick. What are the reviews for this episode?
you have to wait for him to actually have the reviews for the episode.
No, make it. God damn it! I said that so he could have a cut point, so that he could just do it.
Okay. Well, Den of Geek is giving it 2 stars out of 5.
I feel like that's generous.
Though the Vulture is giving it 4 stars out of 5.
They obviously have no idea
Fucking
what's
Vulture.
going on.
I don't know. Let's check out what Entertainment Weekly has said.
Well, who cares about Entertainment Weekly?
Well, they're kind of like the big-ish deal.
They're fun and
It's
exciting.
them and the AV Club, as far as I can tell.
Oh, I have a buddy who writes for the AV Club.
Yeah. Star Trek Discovery recap: The Wolf Inside. Burnham suffers a major betrayal while navigating among the Terrans. This got a B.
All right, fuck Entertainment Weekly. What does AV Club say?
All right, let's go down to the AV Club. It's
the average student, a B, huh? Okay.
All right, they're not on the front page, surprisingly enough.
Well, if it's not on the front page of Google, it doesn't exist.
It really doesn't. I'm not going to the next page.
Can't remember the last time I went to the second page.
Neither can I. Just let you know.
research.
Just let you know just how much SEO matters.
Seriously.
SEO matters. Shout out to all my SEO operators out there. You matter.
Okay, let's see. I'm seeing the B+, B+. Yeah, there's a lot.
I feel like what this comes back to is that everybody's too afraid to give something a bad score.
Except for apparently us.
Well, once again, I think a lot of the scores are coming from it's being
A place
judged.
of fear.
It's being judged on the merits of it being by itself. Nobody's.
No,
I get a feeling. I don't think
Greg,
anybody's comparing it
No,
to anything
Greg,
else
hold
other
up.
than itself. I think that's why.
No, even compared only to itself, it's still garbage. I've completely 100% stopped comparing this to any form of Star Trek at this point.
I do like this line. Tyler's realized his true identity. Yes, he's really Vox. So we don't have to talk around that anymore.
No, but that right there is you know, one of the kind of letdowns. It's like, all right, well, we've known this is the case.
Yeah.
All right. The serialization has created a narrative in which events happen less because they're built or built to or earned, but because it is decided in advance the show needs a big twist.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Why are you giving this a B then?
That doesn't make
This is C grade at
no,
most.
that score doesn't make any sense based on the actual critique.
No,
Yeah.
they're cushioning the reviews for like.
Well, let's just face it. Like certain fandoms, although I've never necessarily known Trek to be this way, but we do know that certain fandoms are very, very, very malicious. Rick and Morty.
Oh no, the Rick and Morty is. I mean, that's
That's a whole different thing.
well, it's the Rick and Morty's. It's the Star Wars. I mean, the vitriol from the Last Jedi it got out of hand to the point where it's verging on misogyny and dog whistle racism. I mean, it's just fucked up.
It's
But I don't know about any of the other. Honestly, I haven't heard any of the other fan opinions about Star Trek Discovery. So
yeah. Far be it for me to say it because considering like where we are and what we're doing, but maybe empowering fandoms wasn't a great idea.
No. That's how we lose all the good things. So,
I mean, clearly that's. I don't know why I'm deciding to kick this particular hornet's nest. I have no idea why I started doing that.
Opening up for like a whole world of pain.
Yeah, no, I have done that, which is why I'm sitting right here next to Megan Washington, who resides in Mid-City, Los Angeles, California.
It's gonna be murder.
Your email address is
dead cats showing up at my house.
I wish a whole bunch of fucking Star Trek trolls. I wish a fucking Trek troll would. Like you have no idea how many batlets I fucking own. It's just like don't do it. It's an honest fact that some of the fandom has gone too far. It's just the reality of it. Some mean well. Like we mean well. We just speak our minds, but some mean well. Some people wish harm on the people that spend time on this shit and hours and trying to figure this out.
Get their shit together.
Yeah, it's like, we're not wishing ill on these people. It's just
because there's a lot of elements here that could make for a very fun show.
Exactly.
And they're just ignoring all of them.
Well, it's like we've gone past. This is an entertaining show that's not really Star Trek, but has a Star Trek name too. We're kind of hate watching
anymore.
it.
It's just like it's not even a good show.
It's a very nonsensical show. Like
but not even the fun kind of nonsensical.
Yeah, no, it's
except for the last episode where they kind of had to get into their roles of playing the evil mirror.
But we didn't even get to see that. They just instantly fit in.
And like all of a sudden the entire...
That's pretty instantaneous.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden the entire ship and the entire set was suddenly, yep, guys, we're Terran Empire. We just rebranded this. And like, remember, we were stretching to find things to talk about because not a lot happened last episode that wasn't insignificant fluff.
It was a very...
Like, we cut it off at 45 minutes because we were just like, I got nothing else to say.
It was a very 80s montage of like, we're going native now, undercover, go. It's like you can just swap out the Star Trek music for the 80s montage music.
Get me undercover, brother.
Yeah, basically.
It was that quick. It was that quick.
There's just not a lot going on, and the stuff that is going on doesn't make any sense. That's it. I don't know. I mean, I guess we'll have to see kind of...
God damn, Megan's just like throwing in the towel.
Look, I have nothing to say about these episodes. Like, I can't pick them apart for the same stuff
over and over again. You look just so beaten down. Yeah.
I'm so beaten down.
Megan's resigned to her fate.
She's like, I don't give a fuck anymore. Right. Yeah. Oh, wait, was the episode shitty and not great? Oh, okay.
Surprise, surprise. Look,
what do you mean that this
here's
doesn't
what
work?
We're going to do. I'm going to do a little whirl around the internet between this week and next week. I'm going to see what the people are saying. Have a little bit more cannon fodder.
Yeah, come in.
We're going to reevaluate.
Come in, give us your best. Kind of, not only do we deserve it, we kind of need it.
I know. Well, I mean, look, I can't keep saying the same stuff, so they have to give me something else to be like...
to get angry about?
Basically. I don't know. I feel like I'm beating a dead horse.
You sound like a parent whose like kid has like done the same wrong thing for like the 5th time.
Yeah, and at some point you just have to accept that your children are stupid.
It's no, but honestly, Megan, you kind of remind me of the parents from Breaking Bad. Jesse Pinkman's parents were just like, you just resigned yourself to the fact that this show is Jesse, and it's just like you're always going to be methed out, and I can never have hope in you again, so I'm just going to resign you to your fate.
You know, I haven't watched that, but I'll take your word for it.
Oh, okay, it's a good show. I highly recommend Breaking Bad.
There's not even anything to really pick apart that we haven't already picked apart for this one. Again, not a lot happens in this episode.
It'll be interesting to see how exactly they will dissect Tyler.
I mean, the only really interesting thing.
Will they,
will they
make it out of this mirror universe? Here's the thing with that, though.
They can't dissect him to reveal a Klingon, okay? Because if they're going with that logic, like, oh, he's a Klingon and we put him in, like, a human's body or whatever, Klingons have redundant organs, okay? They've got multiple spinal cords. They have multiple organs.
Which could have been the things like the scar tissue around all of your organs. It could have been from them removing his redundant organs.
Oh, Jesus.
Like, I don't know. We don't know that. The only really interesting thing, because we knew that something weird was going on with him and the Klingons like that. Like, I mean, it's been building up to that, so we kind of knew that. Nothing really happened with Michael Burnham. We didn't get much of a story with anybody else. The only interesting thing that happened, to me at least, was in the very end when he goes into, like, the jellyfish forest and his, like, mirrorverse self shows up.
Sup, bro? What's going on?
Because then you're like, wait, how the shit is he here? Like, why are they seeing each other? What's going on?
Hey, what's up, dude?
That's the only thing where I was like, oh, what's happening here?
And one would argue that, technically speaking, wouldn't Stannis be seeing multiple versions of himself?
Right?
I mean, if we're talking about, multiverse theory and different universes and stuff like that.
But that's the thing that's interesting. It's like they're upset that the one thing that's interesting is a thing that none of them want to deal with.
This might just be weird. I know that because they've been trying to focus on the Klingons. They're not doing a goddamn good job of it. So it's just kind of made me wonder, where are the Romulans? I kind of don't want to see them show up because I don't know how they're going to fuck them up.
I'm just trying to figure out why they're clinging so hard to this idea that's not working when there's so many other ideas that are working that they're just avoiding.
Because I think they wrote it out in a serialized format, and they're just marching down the line, and all of that got approved, and they can't correct ship fast enough. I have no clue.
I don't know.
It's got to get done. It's got to get done. Someone's got to do it. You got to put asses in seats.
I mean, I guess it's not hurting whatever the ratings or whatever shit is going on.
Yeah, I mean, according to IMDb, these episodes tend to be rated like in the lower 8s, 8.2, 8.6, stuff like that.
Yeah, but when was the last time you saw something that actually had a bad review?
On IMDb?
Yeah. On any of those sites.
I guess, yeah, maybe check Rotten Tomatoes, but I don't think they do TV shows.
They do, just not nearly as well.
Oh,
not really
okay.
episode
Like, not really paying attention to it. Yeah.
Yeah, but like, when was the last time you actually saw something that had a bad score?
B movies, traditionally,
yeah, B movies, because they can get away with giving B movies bad scores.
Because where there's not a fandom that'll get outraged about it.
Down with IMDb.
I'm starting to be genuinely afraid that like when more of this stuff gets released, that suddenly I'm gonna have Trek fanboys, mobbed outside my place to burn it down.
That's not really our style.
That used to not be your style.
True.
Yeah, we're in the fucking post-MAGA universe now. We're living in the dark mirror universe now.
But like, if you take like video game reviews, right? Like, you can't find anything like by EA or any of the big publishers that has a bad score. The worst they will do is an 8.
No, they'll do 7, but 7 is as low as they will go.
It's pushing it.
Yeah.
Is that why do you think that is?
Well, I mean,
it's because you lose. They stop getting access. They stop getting material. They stop getting all the perks. They're like, you're not giving our product the score that we want.
So they get embargoed. They get like a sanction against them.
They get like sanctioned.
I mean, they'll get sanctioned, but it's also like the game will still like be playable and at least be competent. I don't know, like, but it'll just be mediocre, like exceptionally mediocre. But like I don't. I'm not sure why, but but I think Megan has like pretty much hit the nail on the head for the actual reason. I'd like to give more than that, but that's really it. And but like you can't go too far down into that rabbit hole because then we get into some weird Gamergate stuff. And
that
shit was.
It's a dark hole to go towards, but like you don't see. My point is, you don't see bad reviews. Very rarely, like shows will get like middle grade reviews and then it'll just mysteriously be canceled. There's never any like legitimately like terrible reviews on anything before it tanks.
And I mean, and the reviewers that only do bad reviews, they just spew vitriol. There's not a lot of like genuine analysis.
Yes, sadly, you're either
it's like a shock thing.
It's either rah
like
rah, sis boom ba, or absolute bile. You're either their greatest fan or you're ripping them a new one. So and that's unfortunate because there needs to be room for.
Well, yeah, and then it's like the person that just does bad reviews of stuff.
Yeah, and that's horrible. No one wants to read bad reviews of everything all the time, or hear someone's negative opinion all the time of a review.
And I mean, there's plenty of people that do it and like doing it and that have built careers off of basically being vitriol screeching monsters.
Yeah,
this is true.
I just don't think there's any need to continue hammering on it. I just want to see something different come out of it.
And I think that's particularly why.
It's possibly because I had too high of expectations coming out of like a mid-season kind of finale premiere situation.
Right.
I expected a few too many things to change.
Like new year, new me, new show kind of thing.
Yeah.
I'm not even convinced that they knew that they were going to do the mirror universe when they had that pull-out shot of the mid-season. They were just like, where it's like, okay, we're going to come back. And then, like, what? Because that pull-out shot was supposed to be a reveal. That was a reveal shot. That's what it was supposed to be, but it revealed really fuck all nothing other than, yep, there's a lot of dead Klingon ships, which we had already established.
Mm-hmm.
Because their last battle was with Klingons, so however they sport out of that situation, logically it would make sense that like, all right, well, if you were being engaged, maybe you took some of those fuckers with you. And like, oh shit, dead ships, okay. Which
would have been an interesting twist.
Yeah, like, all right.
They got caught in our field.
Yeah, we got a bunch of Klingons that we got to fucking deal with now in this mysterious new place. I think that, to your point, Megan, is why why I'm still trying to hold out some glimmer of what their larger machinations are to end this season out.
My main problem is that it's such an easy thing to write, such an easy kind of story to tell. The story, like, it lends itself to stories so easily, and it's like they're trying to avoid everything that's just like making it simple so that they can make it like something edgy and something
well, that's
complicated.
That goes back to what we were saying initially. It was that there is a Star Trek show, and there's other shows that have happened since then that are more serialized and that kind of go deeper into different ideologies and different ways of thinking. And Star Trek has always had this particular brand, even throughout the movies and the TV shows, and the attempt of doing something different was always scary and terrifying and
well, it's not even that. You can definitely do something different.
They boldly went to a place that could work, but so far has been very difficult for us to get behind.
Well, no, it's not that. Like, they can definitely do something like what they're doing. They just need to be doing it well, and they're not. There's a lot of potential here for something really interesting, and they're not doing anything good with it.
I can agree with Megan on a lot of that. I don't know. I don't know what
you don't know what they're trying to do.
Yeah, no, I'm lost. I'm lost anymore in terms of...
I don't know what kind of show they're trying to make. I don't know what kind of a message they're trying to get across. I don't know what kind of the genre of what they're doing is.
If they're trying to say space is dangerous, okay, we get that. We definitely get that.
But we don't know what they're saying because they're not saying that. They don't have a specific theme for everything that they're doing. There's not... like a thread that ties everything together. Like it doesn't make any sense. It's just
if
really poorly done.
If experimentation's dangerous,
But that's not what they're saying.
Acting rashly is dangerous. It's a lot of different things, and yet not those things. It's positing a lot of notions that
there's no cohesion.
We can't necessarily say are definitive.
Yeah, it's a mess.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if there's anything more to say. I don't know if you guys have any other closing
really
thoughts.
Depressing episode.
Yeah,
and it's not even for them a depressing episode. It's just for us a really depressing episode. We've gotten to this point where our souls are just crushed.
I'm seriously like, Star Trek has dealt with the mirror universe so many times that like literally I would say that Enterprises was the last time that they did like kind of an original take, because like they were just like, oh yeah, your crew is not showing up in the mirror universe, it's just the mirror universe crew. And that's an interesting exploration. But like this one, they ended up in the mirror universe, but literally like they had to blend in up until a certain point. Michael Burnham was starting to lose her humanity in 3 days.
They didn't even had
3 days.
They had to blend in for like 5 minutes. And
yeah,
then they just automatically blended in.
Yeah, and then all they needed to do when they found like the Rebel Alliance was to be like, yo guys, same team basically.
Or like put the guy in the transporter room and just have him do like a transporter lock on everybody and beam them to a different location the same time she bombed them, or like something clever, But
Yeah, no.
Clever? No, they're not going to do that.
God forbid.
Yeah,
I mean, she was obviously secretly in contact with the Discovery the whole time, because she managed to beam what's his name into space so they could pick him up.
Even though we never actually saw that.
All she had to do was be secretly in contact with them, be like, yo, I'm going to like nuke the planet, snag these guys before I do. It's just been done terribly.
Well, here's hoping. Here's me knocking on some wood.
Until the next episode.
Man, that reverberated something
so
fierce.
much. So much reverb.
I think we're learning our lesson on that.
Yeah, I'll knock on my head next time.
Yeah.
All right. So, guys, any last closing thoughts?
No.
Praying for the future.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Megan's given up. Greg is surprisingly hopeful, and I am just kind of angry. So,
yeah.
I guess we'll see how this all develops next week.
There you go. We'll see what happens.
Bye.